need a mic, right?
Get on my own microphone.
Okay.
Yeah, so we don't have to share.
So good morning, church.
Dobro jutro, crkva.
Wanted to thank you all for the hospitality you guys shared with us last time we visited you guys.
Želim da vam se zahvalim za gostoprimstvo koje ste podelili sa nama poslednji put kad smo bili u ovoj crkvi.
We didn't really expect such hospitality from you guys. It was a surprise, especially after the service.
Mi smo bili iznenađeni vašim lepim gostoprimstvom. To je bilo iznenađenje za nas.
Because with time we got dull to what happened to us, because it was kind of something that, you know, it happened, move on. So, and when we were related what happened, it kind of brought a lot back of the emotions, and we were happy that whatever we said was such a benefit to the church.
To je bilo zato što nama se dogodilo što nam se dogodilo i mi nismo puno ni razmišljali o tome, ali kad smo bili kod vas, onda je to sve ponovo pokrenulo, sve šta nam se desilo i vratilo nam je ta stara osjećanja.
So for today, instead of relaying some theological structure of a certain concept, I've decided to do a part 2 where instead of retelling the story, I will relate the principles or what we learned during that whole experience.
Tako danas, umesto da vam propovedam neku teološku temu, ja ću samo da nastavim sa drugim delom mog iskustva koje mi se dogodilo.
Because as we tell the story to other people, we see terror and I mean, we see the reaction of what actually happened, because it's different when someone else hears the same story. And so we know that this will be helpful, and I hope that the Lord will actually use it. If you know someone who's going through the similar situation, you can help them.
Zato što vidimo kad mi pričamo naše iskustva, vidimo kako ljudi reaguju na iskustva i vidimo kako naša iskustva pomažu drugim ljudima. I nadam se da će i ovo moje iskustvo biti pomoć i dobar primer drugima.
So the reason I chose Psalm 119, verse 30, because that kind of recaps the whole story. That is the way of truth. If you go in the way of truth, we will all encounter these trials and these situations.
Razlog što sam ja izabrao Psalam 119, stih 30, verse 30 you said?
Yeah, verse 30. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the scripture reading.
Mm-hmm. Razlog što sam ja izabrao ovo je što the reason that you picked this text is because you
it recaps the whole story. Yeah, that is the way of truth. Essentially.
Zato što je ovo cela istina, ovo sumira celu priču njegovu. To je istina.
Yeah, and similarly in John 8:31 and 32, I'll just read verse 31. It says, "Then Jesus said to those Jews which believed in him, he said, if ye continue in my word, then ye are my disciples indeed." So that kind of...
Just a second.
Yeah.
U Jovanu 8:31 you said?
Yeah.
U Jovanu 8:31 Isus je rekao, kaže, tada Isus govoraše onim Jevrejima koji mu verovaše, ako vi ostanete na mojoj besedi, zaista ćete biti učenici moji.
I'm grateful to the Lord that he gave the persistence to actually remain in the word, because we always through the whole story had the choice of deviating from the word.
Ja sam zahvalan Bogu što je on u ovoj mojoj priči ostao istinit kroz celu priču, ostao istinit u svojoj reči. Because he didn't deviate from the truth.
No, we didn't deviate from the truth. We had the choice to always do that.
Iako smo imali izbor da odemo od istine, mi smo uvek ostali u istini.
Because it was really bad.
Zato što je bilo zaista jako loše.
So, I can, looking back at the story that we have, I see like 4 major phases of what happened to the whole story of conversion. There are like 4 phases.
U mojoj priči preobraćenja ja vidim 4 faze. Bilo je 4 faze preobraćenja za mene.
The first one is initial discovery, or called birth, where I just found out that there's such a thing.
Prva faza je bila rođenje. Ja je nazivam rođenjem, kad sam ja saznao da postoji obraćenje.
And that's even before I actually met a live person. That was before I'd met Radmila, before I went to this church. That was my initial discovery.
To se desilo, to je bilo inicijativno saznanje za mene. To se desilo pre nego što sam ja čak i upoznao brata Radmila.
Then it was walking, when you sometimes fall. So the initial desire to walk, you begin walking, but it doesn't really always work out.
Druga faza je bila želja da hodam. Znate, kao kad neko padne, pa onda hoće ponovo da ustane i da hoda. To je bila druga faza.
That's when I visited this church. I visited every single Seventh-day Adventist church in this region.
To je bilo kad sam ja posjetio ovu crkvu i u to vreme sam posećivao i sve druge adventističke crkve u ovoj okolini.
Because I wanted to find out the best church for my family.
Zato što sam hteo da pronađem najbolju crkvu za moju porodicu.
So that's where initial tensions began, when I started to walk.
I tu su počele da se pojavljuju problemi i tenzije kad sam ja počeo da hodam.
The next phase is actually walking, where I knew what I believe, I know where I should go.
Sledeća faza, treća faza je bilo samo hodanje. Znači, kad sam ja već znao gde treba da idem i kako treba da idem.
But people were being a stumbling block. They were pushing us out of the way, so they didn't want us to walk.
Ali ljudi su bili kamen spoticanja. Oni su nas gurali i rušili i nisu hteli da nam dopuste da hodamo.
And right now we're at the phase of jogging, where we're almost running, and I want to get to sprinting, and then, but right now we're jogging, and we're happy that we have this motion, or a pace.
I sada trenutno mi smo u fazi lakog trčanja, znači džoginga. Još ne trčimo, to je naš cilj da počnemo da trčimo, malo da sprintujemo, ali sad još uvek samo lakše džogiramo.
And I think this whole concept of birth, you begin to walk, you walk, and then you run, this kind of applies to a lot of scenarios in life.
Mislim da ovaj princip ove 4 faze, znači kad si rođenje, pa onda početak hodanja, pa hodanje i onda konačno trčanje, ima aplikaciju u mnogim stvarima u životu.
I don't think there's a need to repeat the actual story, because you guys heard the story. There's really nothing else to it.
Nema potrebe da ponavljam moju priču, moju životnu priču, jer vi ste čuli i sećate se. Ja sam im ispričao sve što je bilo da se ispriča.
So what I'll take is actually take a concept. For example, the huge part of the whole thing was marriage. And I will actually dive into specifics of what happened. So you will hear the story in detail, but it's not really a story. It comes from a more topical approach.
Ja ću uzeti jedan predmet, kao što je, na primjer, bio moj brak, i pokazat ću vam kako je moja životna priča obraćenja imala utisak na moj brak.
So the very first thing that if you know someone is a huge thing, you're lonely. Literally, you are lonely. There is nobody but you.
Jedna stvar koju verovatno svi znate, kad nekog, when you know someone, you're lonely. You said,
no, there's no one. People know you, but you're lonely.
Ljudi mogu da vas znaju i da vi znate ljude, ali ste usamljeni.
In the context of when they find out what you believe or where you're going, they refuse to associate with you. That's the lonely.
I desi se nekad da ljudi kad znaju ko ste i kakvi ste, ne žele da budu sa vama i onda ste usamljeni. Ostajete sami.
So this is very highly subjective to every single person.
Ovo je subjektivno, ne mora da znači, ne odražava se isto na svaku osobu.
For example, a person who's very outgoing, who's very happy all the time, who's not an introvert but an extrovert, will have a different story.
Na primer, osoba koja je ekstrovert, koja voli da izlazi i da se druži sa ljudima, oni će možda imati drugačiju priču.
So, I'm an introvert, where you lock me in a room, I'll be very happy.
Ja sam introvertan, što znači da volim da budem sam i ako me zaključate samog u sobu, ja ću biti veoma srećan.
So, but with the life I'm going with and the Lord opens up paths, I have to choose to be outgoing, which is sometimes difficult.
I nekad u ovom putu koji je Bog izabrao za mene, ja moram da se otvorim prema ljudima i da postanem ekstrovertan i to je za mene veoma teško.
So it was really bad as far as loneliness because I take loneliness very personal because of being an introvert.
Znači, za mene je ovo bilo veoma teško i jako loše, jer ja sam introvertan i ja to uzimam ka srcu.
So think about this. Your father and your mother turn away, and your in-laws, so my wife's parents, turn away.
I sad razmislite o ovome. Otac i majka vas ostave samog i tast i tašta vas ostave samog, znači roditelji moje žene.
Your own wife is highly critical of what you're trying to say.
Čak i vaša žena je veoma kritična za sve što imate da kažete.
So there you are, alone.
I eto, vi ste sad sami.
So that's a very difficult time, but what I figured and I prayed, God led two people who became constructively different parents.
I sad to možete da zamislite koliko je to bilo teško za mene, ali ja sam se molio i Bog je poslao dve osobe koje su postale kao moji roditelji.
It was specifically men, primarily men.
To su bila dva čoveka.
There were several of them, and they took the function of being kind of a push, like where a father should do sometimes. So I met a person there, he gave me a push.
U stvari, to je bilo nekoliko muškaraca i jedan muškarac je, na primjer, bio kao moj otac koji me malo gurnuo kad sam trebao da budem malo poguran.
As I met different people, and I knew them for longest time. So they gave me some pushes, so I had guidance from the Lord from some other people.
Znači, ja sam sretao te ljude, neke sam poznavao već dosta dugo i Bog je njih poslao da oni mene malo pogurnu u pravcu kojem sam trebao da idem.
One of them was Radmila and really helpful in Dushanka that they opened up their home.
Jedni od tih ljudi su bili Radmilo i Dušanka i ja sam jako srećan što su oni otvorili svoj dom meni.
So, there you are. You're alone, you have people, but you don't have intimate people who you can tell the story to.
I eto sad u situaciji sam bio gde bio sam sam, moji bližnji nisu bili uz mene, ali Bog mi je poslao druge ljude koji su mi se našli.
So one of the critical things in that situation that everyone should know.
Jedna stvar koju svi moraju da znaju u toj kritičnoj situaciji.
I rediscovered books.
Ja sam ponovo otkrio knjige.
So that was kind of a guide. For example, I read a book on the psychology of men, for example.
I tako, na primjer, jedna od tih knjiga koje su mi postali vodiči je bila knjiga Psihologija ljudi, psihologija čoveka.
Another book will explain on different scenarios of family life.
Druga knjiga je objašnjavala scenario porodičnog života.
So when I sat down and looked, I have two choices.
I ja sam seo i video sam da imam dva izbor između dve stvari.
So I either could sit down, lock myself in the room, sit on the floor and put my head between my knees and start crying.
Ili ću se zaključati u sobu i početi da plačem.
Because that's what it was. That was the situation.
Jel to je bila situacija?
Or I can get up, look up, and look everyone in the eyes and do whatever I think is right.
Ili mogu da ustanem i da svakog pogledam u oči i uradim ono što je pravo.
So that's where I chose not to be subject to my own internal feelings, but to move on regardless whatever they will tell me.
I odlučio sam da se ne prepustim svojim unutrašnjim osjećanjima, nego da ustanem i da to move on, you said?
Move on, yeah.
I da nastavim dalje.
So sometimes I made some mistakes by overdoing this.
I ponekad sam napravio grešku jer sam preterao.
They tell me be quiet, I said I will not.
Kad su mi rekli da prestanem da pričam, ja sam rekao neću.
You know, you can follow the Sabbath quietly.
I znate, vi možete u stvari da svetkujete subotu na tihi način.
But then I find myself in a Q&A session in youth and telling everyone that I'm a Sabbath follower.
Ali odjednom se nađem u jednom razredu gde se postavljaju pitanja i daju odgovori, gde pričam glasno o tome kako ja svetkujem subotu.
So that was kind of the choice. When someone's lonely, you have a choice of getting up and actually dealing with the problems.
I to je bio moj izbor. Bio sam veoma usamljen, ali ja sam odlučio da ustanem i da se borim sa svojim problemima.
Synonymously, it could be said it's an attack mode where you are the attacker. Like, not literally, but...
Znači, možete da kažete da sam bio u nekom stanju napada.
Yeah, because instead of listening to people telling me how you are wrong, I started doing the same thing.
I umesto da samo slušam ljude kako me napadaju da nisam u pravu, ja sam počeo da isto to radim. Ja sam počeo njih da napadam.
It came to a position where they could not respond to my arguments anymore.
I došlo je do toga da nisu više mogli da mi odgovore na moje napade, da se odbrane od mojih napada.
I caught my father taking one part of the verse and another, combining them to make his point.
Moj otac uhvatio sam ga u kombinaciji dva stiha iz Biblije da bi mi nešto dokazao. Znači, uzeo jedan deo jednog stiha i jedan deo drugog stiha i...
And it wasn't really intentional. He never knew the Bible the way I knew on the subject we were discussing.
I to nije bila njegova krivica, jer on nije dobro poznavao Bibliju i nije mogao da odbrani ono što je pokušavao da dokaže, ono o čemu smo pričali.
So that's kind of the topic of loneliness, which is that was the major turning point on the whole scenario. I could have given up and kind of went back to my Baptist life.
Znači, ta usamljenost, to je igralo veliku ulogu. Ja sam mogla da se okrenem i da pođem opet u moj baptistički život.
Or move on and never know. Till today, I don't know how it will end, because this is still a journey.
Ili da nastavim napred u pravcu za koji nisam znao, niti ću možda ikad znati kako će se završiti ovaj moj put.
So the next step was to identify sections of my life. So there's marriage, children, work, personal study.
Ok, znači sledeće je bilo da ja identifikujem elemente mog života, moj brak, moju decu, moj posao, moju školu.
That's where my legal education, my employment assisted me of identifying this as a project.
I tako je moje legalno obrazovanje, pravno obrazovanje, meni pomoglo da ja ovaj projekat identifikujem kao, ovaj proces identifikujem kao moj projekat.
And I would say a project or an area by area, I had to dominate and fix everything in all of the sections.
I u ovom projektu, da bi ga ispunio, da bi ga uradio, morao sam da svaki deo ovog projekta identifikujem i usavršim.
And I'm really grateful that the Lord helped me, because without Him, I wouldn't even identify that there's such a thing.
I ja sam stvarno zahvalan Bogu što mi je On pomogao da ovo procesujem i da identifikujem, jer ja bez njega ne bi mogao ovo da identifikujem.
So being married and doing what I did as far as conversion to a different denomination, being married is extremely difficult.
I proces preobraćenja iz jedne religije u drugu, kad si oženjen, je veoma težak.
Because you have to convince the closest person in your life
Jer ti moraš da ubediš osobu koja ti je najbliža u tvom životu.
and it hurts a lot of times.
I to često povredi osobu.
One of the issues that I'll try to be very respectful to my parents of what they did, and they did literally a lot of evil, but I'll refrain from going into details to, I will not be hopefully disrespectful to what they did to us.
Ne bih želeo da budem, da nemam respekta prema mojim roditeljima, ali oni su nama učinili puno zla.
For example, our in-laws thought we should be divorced.
Na primjer, moj tast i tašta su bili mišljenja da mi treba da se razvedemo.
So our father-in-law is a deacon in Baptist church.
Moj tast je đakon u...
Diakon.
You should have just said that. U baptističkoj crkvi. Yeah?
So, and that's the shock. Yeah, that's the shock that we've been encountered. And then the way I think it's Corinthians 7, where if a woman is a believer and a husband is not, she has the right to leave. That's what they said.
I oni su to Biblijom podupirali, mislim da je u Korinćanima 7, gde piše da je, ako je žena jedne vere, a muž druge vere, ona ima pravo da muža napusti.
So I knew they have no clue what's written there because I knew it's the other way around.
I po tome sam znao da oni nemaju pojma šta je u stvari napisano, jer u stvari napisano je obrnuto.
And then I declared dark ages concerning my in-laws.
You declared dark ages?
Dark ages where it's a separation. You now wait. We will deal with this.
Ok, i ja sam deklarisao mračni vek prema mojim... we don't have that expression, so I'm trying to...
No, I made it up, so I don't know.
Oh, you made it up, yeah. Okay. Znači, ja sam samo njih stavio on hold, stavio sam ih sa strane, stavio sam ih po strani dok mi to sami između nas ne rešimo, ja i moja žena.
So we had certain reliances upon them. So they looked after our son when we were in school. They helped us out once in a while financially, which was significant at first.
I mi smo se na njih dosta oslanjali, u to vreme su oni čuvali našeg sina i pomagali nam finansijski, koja je bila nama velika pomoć.
And we said no, and we moved it apart, and were completely independent.
I mi smo odlučili da im kažemo ne, nije više potrebno, mi hoćemo da budemo potpuno nezavisni.
Which is crucial in marriage that I look back, that you must be completely independent, even physically, as far as living separately.
Što smatram da je obavezno u braku da ti fizički, pogotovo fizički i finansijski budeš nezavisan.
For example, if we lived with our parents,
na primjer, ako mi živimo sa našim roditeljima,
we wouldn't even have a quality fight about these topics because they would intervene.
Kad bi, recimo, da smo mi živeli sa našim roditeljima, mi ne bismo mogli da imamo ni jednu dobru konstruktivnu svađu pred njima.
Because that's crucial. We had to solve it by ourselves in our own circumstances.
Jer to je neophodno. Ljudi moraju da imaju ovakve svađe da bi nešto rešili u svojoj situaciji, da bi poboljšali svoju situaciju.
So we look back and we're grateful that we identified such a possibility, being separate and then resolving it by ourselves.
I ja sam jako zahvalan da smo mi razumeli da mi moramo da budemo nezavisni, da moramo da budemo sami i nezavisni da bi mogli ovo da rešimo ovaj problem.
In the situation where we were, we had to compromise on only insignificant matters.
Insignificant or unsignificant?
Insignificant.
I mi smo morali da pravimo kompromise i na nekim ne tako velikim stvarima, nevažnim stvarima.
Initially I said, we are going to be vegan.
This is your wife?
No, I'd said that.
Initially you
I'm
said.
not a cook.
Ok, znači, prvo sam ja rekao, mi ćemo biti vegani.
So, I'm not a vegan. I'm not even completely vegetarian. I'm more like a 50% as of now.
Ja nisam čak potpuno ni potpuni vegetarijanac, jedno 50%.
I told my wife, you cook whatever you put, I'll eat.
Rekao sam mojoj ženi, što god ti skuvaš, ja ću da jedem.
But our lives are changing. It's a slow process.
Ali naš život se menja i to je spori proces, ali se menja.
So on the bigger, I'm not talking about the pillars of what we believe. I'm talking about the applications a lot of the times.
Ja ne govorim sada o stubovima, o onome čemu mi verujemo, nego samo o praktičnim aplikacijama u našem životu.
The other things that we learned is consistency.
Još jedna stvar što sam naučio je consistency.
Postojanstvo.
Doslednost.
Postojanstvo. That's how we say it.
Postojanost.
Thank you.
Doslednost.
So if a husband or a wife are very consistent and persistent in what they're doing, if it's truth, the other side will eventually convert.
Say that again.
So that's kind of the concept. If one spouse is consistent and persistent enough, like pushing in the right way, the other side will eventually convert.
Okay. Evo jednog koncepta. Ako je jedna strana u braku dosledna i veoma i tvrdo se drži toga u šta veruje, druga strana će se posle nekog vremena preobratiti i videti stvari na isti način kao i ova prva strana, ova tvrdoglava strana.
I apologize, sorry.
No, that's fine.
So,
this is your belief, or this is a statement?
That's a statement, and I believe it's true until I believe it's not true. But for now, that's how I perceive this.
Ovo čvrsto veruje, jer to kaže da je to činjenica i on će u to verovati dok ne vidi da možda to nije tako.
Yeah. So one of the things is, but you have to be very committed to what you believe. You actually have to know what exactly do you believe.
Svako mora da čvrsto bude uveren u ono što veruje. Treba da zna u šta veruje, da čvrsto bude uveren u to i da se toga drži.
One of the things that I learned is, I call it burn the bridge.
Jedna stvar koju sam ja naučio je što jedan izraz koji mi kažemo spaljivanje mostova.
Where there is no way back.
Kad neko spali mostove, ne može više da se vrati.
You live as there is no way back.
Živite tako kao da nema vraćanja.
You argue, for example, which is really close to young people who get married, is initial arguing.
Znači, kad se svađate, okay, say that again. So when you argue, which is what young people do, you're saying.
Initial when you get married.
Yeah, znači, svađe koje su normalne kod mlađih bračnih parova, a i starijih.
But when you, in the whole process, you are so committed to the other person, even though you're hurt, you have to resolve.
Ali čak i ako se svađate, vi ste toliko committed, predani toj drugoj osobi i to vas jako boli, ta svađa vas boli, ali vi ste predani toj osobi.
It's very difficult for a person who, like myself, I'm an introvert where it's easy to close off and, retract.
Meni, na primjer, kao introvertu je veoma lako da se zatvorim i da budem sam u svojim mislima i problemima.
And what I figured out, divorce or physical ultimate separation begins with your thoughts.
I šta sam ja otkrio je da razvod i separacija počinje u tvojim mislima.
Because divorce was literally here, just in front of us.
Zato što razvod je bio tu ispred nas. Bukvalno, bili smo došli do toga.
And I knew, thankful, praise the Lord, that He gave certain resources that I knew that I had to cut off the thoughts before I moved on.
I ja sam zahvalan Bogu što mi On dao neke načine da ja te svoje misli samo presečem i odsečem kad su počele da se pojavljuju.
So to close off the whole marriage thing, we're as close as we've ever been together.
Praise the Lord. Da završimo o braku, mi smo bliži jedno drugom sad nego što smo ikad u prošlosti bili.
It will be 7 years this year of living together.
Ove godine će biti 7 godina kako smo mi zajedno.
And we believe that the first 4 or 5 years I would never repeat again.
I mi verujemo da prvih 4-5 godina ne bi nikad više ponovili.
Now we live.
Sad mi živimo.
So, one small thing, because marriage and children are there. One of the big
stvar, jer brak i deca su tu prisutni.
One of the things that I regret is him being in the midst of our arguments.
Jedna stvar koju veoma žalim je što je on, moj sin, pretpostavljam, bio u sred naših svađa.
He didn't know what's going on, so he just cried.
On nije znao šta se dešava i on je samo plakao.
So, that's kind of to children. Children, as we consider it's family. So when I said marriage, it's all of us, including our son and our daughter, who's going to be born soon. So.
Ja pričam o ovome, o sinu i našoj ćerki koja će se uskoro roditi, zato što su oni deo naše porodice.
Now, the second thing I will hopefully say I will not offend, it's concerning parents that are from Soviet Union.
Druga stvar koju ću sada reći je o roditeljima koji su iz Sovjetskog saveza. Nadam se da neću nikog povrediti sa ovim što ću reći.
I'll say American parents are more tolerable to their children.
Američki roditelji tolerišu više od svoje dece.
My dad is a racist.
Moj otac je rasista.
Like, I would hear a lot of the times, you will never be where I am.
Puno puta je on zna meni da kaže, ti nećeš nikad biti tu gde sam ja.
And I'm quoting, you will not be equal to me.
Ti nećeš, ja ću sad da ga citiram, ti nećeš nikad meni biti ravan.
I really hope he doesn't mean this.
Ja se stvarno nadam da on to nije mislio.
But as of now, that's what he means.
Ali znam sad da je on upravo to mislio.
So with this, what I can say that we learned is to stay respectful.
I sad da zaključim, nadam se da možemo svi da ostanemo, da poštujemo.
Because they're very hostile to you.
The parents are very hostile. Zato što su naši roditelji neprijateljski nastrojeni prema nama.
So, but I kept my cool whenever we had a discussion.
Ali ja sam ostao miran dok smo diskutovali.
And it came to a point where he couldn't, but I could.
I došlo do toga da on nije mogao da ostane miran, ali ja sam mogao.
So, and I think that kind of stabilized our relationship.
I mislim da je to stabilizovalo našu...
Because I decided to seed or plant a seed for my relationship with my son, with my relationship with my father.
Zato što sam ja odlučio da posejem seme u svog sina, tim što ću posejati seme, tim što ću mu pokazati kako sam posejao seme u mog oca.
For example, on the loneliness part,
na primjer, usamljenosti o kojoj sam vam pričao.
I will never receive a call from my parents. They live in another state.
Moji roditelji žive u drugoj državi i oni nikad mene ne zovu, niti će me zvati.
So I got up and called them.
I ja sam njih nazvao.
And then it kind of resolved itself. Now it stabilizes, more or less it's 50-50.
I sad se stabilizovalo i sad je pola-pola.
So, and I know that my son,
i ja znam da i moj sin,
when he grows up, will not believe exactly as that I believe.
Kad odraste, neće verovati istovetno to što ja verujem.
I'm fine with that as long as he can explain it.
To je sa mnom u redu, ako on može to meni da objasni, ja nemam ništa protiv toga.
And I think God will test me with this, and my son will probably believe something different.
I verujem da će Bog da me stavi na ispit po ovom pitanju, jer moj sin će verovati nešto drugo.
But that's him and God, because by the time he will be able to do that, that was his relationship with Christ, not mine.
Ali to je između njega i Boga, jer kad on bude dovoljno velik da u to veruje, on će imati svoju vezu, svoju sopstvenu vezu sa Bogom.
So that's kind of to close off the parents thing.
I to sad da završim na ovu temu sa roditeljima.
So I have the other smaller sections where it's kind of something that I've construed that might not be always true.
I sad imam još nekoliko poenta koje su poente koje sam ja sam smislio i sklopio. Možda nisu baš tačne, ali to je moje mišljenje.
Like I would always assume that people do not care.
Ja sam uvek počinjao sa pretpostavkom da ljude nije briga.
And then I moved from there, assuming they don't care what happened.
Znači, počeo sam sa tom pretpostavkom i onda sam išao dalje.
So at least you'll never have any surprises.
I tako nikad niko ne može da vas iznenadi ako u to verujete.
So I assumed the worst.
Znači, ja sam pretpostavio najgore.
And then I was surprised every time people cared.
I onda sam bio iznenađen svaki put kad sam otkrio da ljude u stvari jeste briga.
So, and then sometimes I chose not to talk about a lot of things.
I onda, na primjer, puno puta sam odlučio da ne pričam puno.
Because you can be associated with something you talk a lot about.
Zato što će vas ljudi povezivati sa onim o čemu pričate često.
So I kind of let it go, and then if people ask, I tell them. If they do not, sometimes I'll tell them if I feel that is necessary.
I tako ja sam pustio, nisam puno pričao ljudima, jedino ako su me pitali nešto, onda sam im rekao ono što sam mislio da je potrebno da kažem.
That way I'm not pushy.
Tako na taj način ja nisam pushy, prenaporan.
Yeah, like
We know pushy.
Yeah. So as far as the church and community, that's kind of the next section that I want to, the importance of belonging to a community.
To je sledeće o čemu bih želeo da pričam. Važnost pripadnosti društvu.
So in my Baptist church, it was a church that is huge. I think it's over 700 members right now, 600, so it's a big Baptist church.
I to društvo o kome pričam je, na primjer, bila moja baptistička crkva koja je bila ogromna, imala je oko 700 vernika.
So we lost any association with doing particular anything in there. So we lost choir, small groups. We had a small group. I was assisting a youth pastor, so we lost all that.
Znači, izgubio sam svaki kontakt sa tim društvom, sve što sam radio sa horom i sa omladinskim grupama, nisam bio deo ni jedne te grupe više.
It came to a point where we came to a church, people would look, back at you when you pass by.
Došlo je do toga da kad smo došli u crkvu, kad bi došli u crkvu, ljudi ne bi nas ni pogledali čestito, nego bi nas samo tako okrznuli pogledom kad smo prolazili pored njih.
So Radmilo brought me to Granite Bay, the first church that I've ever visited after this church, like intentionally to actually become members.
I tako Radmilo me doveo u Granite Bay, crkvu namerno da bi tamo postao član.
But I visited every single Seventh-day Adventist church that is American here in our region.
Ali ja sam posjetio svaku adventističku crkvu, američku crkvu koja je u ovom kraju.
To be sure that's kind of the best one.
Da bi bio siguran da je to najbolja crkva za mene.
The next step was to actually specifically make connections in the church itself.
Sledeća važna stvar je da sam ja stvarno osnovao vezu sa ljudima u toj crkvi.
Yeah, I consider myself a stronger person versus being a weaker side.
Ja smatram da sam ja veoma jaka osoba, ne slabić.
But for that purpose, I assumed myself very weak and sought help and connections with people. We joined a small group and then
ali da bi osnovao veze, ja sam namerno sebe postavio u poziciju slabijeg i povezao se sa mnogim grupama, aktivnim grupama u crkvi.
Specifically, where we're looking for friends of family versus my own personal friends.
Specifično sam tražio prijatelje i za moju porodicu. You were looking for friends and family, or for your family?
For, like friends for our family. Like my wife will have someone to talk to, my son and myself.
Znači, tražio sam prijatelje za celu moju porodicu, ne samo za samo mene.
So, and that's crucial whenever everyone else turns around, you have to. No one else will make connections.
I to je jako važno, to je neophodno da moraš da osnuješ vezu sa ljudima.
So right now we're very open to any meeting, any person who wants to have some sort of association with us.
I sad trenutno mi smo otvoreni za bilo kakvu vezu, kogod hoće da sa nama bude u kontaktu i da se poveže sa nama, mi smo otvoreni.
So that's kind of on the church and the community side.
To je iz ugla crkve i crkvenog društva.
One of the things after I began jogging or running where I know exactly what we believe and where we're going.
Jedna stvar koja se desila kad sam počeo da džogiram, da lako trčim u pravcu u kome verujem da treba da trčim.
I noticed that people are afraid of their own mind.
Primetio sam da se ljudi boje svog sopstvenog uma.
Because if they happen to talk to you,
jer ajde da kažemo da slučajno počnu da razgovaraju sa vama,
and you say something
i vi nešto kažete
that makes so much sense,
što ima smisla,
like they will not be able to resist the temptation of actually believing it.
I oni ne mogu jednostavno da odole tom iskušenju da poveruju.
So that was very specific to the question of death, conditional immortality, and then hell. That was because it makes so much logical sense. People are afraid because they might convert.
I zbog toga sam ja bio veoma specifičan kad god sam pričao o smrti, o onome šta se događa posle smrti, jer sam video da ljudi, zato što to ima jako puno smisla i zbog toga vidim da se ljudi boje da pričaju o tome, jer se boje da će ih to preobratiti.
But you receive people all the time and they're always warned about yourself. Like, be careful, he might convert you. Be careful whom he takes you. So it's not really pleasant, but that's what you get.
I puno puta sam primetio da su ljudi jedni druge upozoravali da se paze da ih ne bi ja preobratio.
And then I see my uncles and my aunts. For example, last summer I went over to my uncle's house the other day.
I, na primjer, moji ujaci i teče.
So his wife, so my aunt.
Njegova žena je moja tetka.
Everyone knows about my conversion.
I svi znaju da sam se ja preobratio.
But her face is like terror, like it's complete fear of, it's like shock. I mean, literally the end of the world.
Ali na njenom licu je potpuni teror, potpuni šok. Kao da je smak sveta.
The biggest factor why you believe what you believe is just because you grew up in there.
Najveći faktor je zašto veruješ to što veruješ je što si ti odrastao u tome.
And people actually tell me all the time, so whatever you now knew no longer applies.
I tako, što god da si naučen bio od detinjstva, sad više to nema smisla, ne važi se.
So I tell them, so Muslims will not, learn Christ because they grew up being a Muslim?
I sad po toj logici, jel ja mogu da kažem da muslimani neće nikad biti hrišćani zbog toga što nisu odrasli kao hrišćani?
They don't say that anymore to me.
I sad oni više, ostavili su ga na miru. Ne mogu to više da tvrde.
So the final two things that I want to say today is, one of the things that we're currently struggling, that's a real struggle, is forgiveness.
I konačno dve zadnje stvari o koje bih želeo da pričam danas. Prva od njih je oproštaj. Mi se veoma borimo da oprostimo.
It is extremely difficult to forgive a person in such a manner where, yes, logically, being a Christian, yes, we forgive, we have to forgive.
I strašno je teško oprostiti nekome. Logično mi možemo kažemo da, mi smo hrišćani, mi moramo da oprostimo.
But to open your heart and truly, accept a person as it would never happen is extremely difficult.
Ali da zaista iskreno otvorimo srce i da primimo tu osobu i da je oprostimo, to je neverovatno teško.
So I always prayed for the Lord to help us to accept.
Tako ja se uvek molim Bogu da nam pomogne da prihvatimo ljude, takvi kakvi su.
And then one of the last thing that I will say is attitude.
I poslednja stvar o kojoj bih želeo da pričam je stav.
It's not what you say, but how you say it.
Nije važno šta kažete, nego kako to kažete.
So I think if I came back, I would probably say the same thing, but differently.
I tako mislim kad bi ja ponovo otišao u svoju familiju i rekao im neke stvari, mislim da bi im rekao iste stvari, ali bi im rekao na drugi način.
So I reevaluate, I ask for forgiveness because a lot of the things were generated by me myself and how I said things.
I ja tražim za oproštaj jer puno od toga što sam rekao je bilo uzrok toga kako sam ja video sebe i kako sam ja reagovao na to.
So I ask for forgiveness and move on.
I ja tražim oproštaj od njih i idemo dalje.
There's nothing else I can do. Can't change
Nema
it.
ništa drugo što ja mogu da učinim.
So that kind of concludes the second part of our conversion and the principles that we learned.
I ovo je kraj drugog dela našeg preobraćenja i stvari koje sam ja naučio.
If you know any Baptists, send them my way. We can talk.
Ako znate neke baptiste, pošaljite ih kod mene i ja ću pričati sa njima.
Because I know the way of thinking, and there is a logical way where you can convince a person to look at the side.
Zato što ja znam kako oni razmišljaju i znam kako logično mogu da razgovaram s njima, da ih preokrenem i prebacim na moju stranu.
No, a typical way, you should follow the Sabbath, you should believe this, will not work. It's a different approach to the same thing.
Znači, tipičan način, veruju subotu i svetkuj subotu, taj način neće biti efikasan.
So, I guess we'll pray right now, right, and conclude. Yeah, we'll have a song, yeah.
I sad ćemo otpevati pesmu i onda ćemo se pomoliti. Amin.
Thank you.